Ladies and gentlemen, the Supreme Court strongly rebuked Rahul. A relief coming in with a rap for the leader of opposition. That's the breaking update that is coming in at the moment. Interim relief granted to Rahul. The top court, meanwhile, has questioned Rahul Gandhi. The High Court had observed, remember, that while the Constitution grants free speech to every individual, it comes with reasonable restrictions and does not allow making statements that defame the army. Rahul Gandhi, remember, has been accused of insulting the Indian army during a speech that he had made during his Bharat Jodo Yatra. The Congress MP had questioned why no one is talking about how China is capturing Indian land, killing 20 soldiers or thrashing them in Arunachal Pradesh. These were the words of Rahul Gandhi, and a case of defamation was filed against him in Uttar Pradesh, and he was issued summons by a trial court. Now, of course, the Supreme Court strongly rebuking the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, over his remarks, and this particular case, of course, pertaining to his words, his statement, his opinion on the Indian army that he had made during his Bharat Jodo Yatra. The Supreme Court, remember, today granted interim relief to Rahul Gandhi, staying the proceedings in this defamation case filed over his remarks against the Indian army during the Bharat Jodo Yatra. But this relief has come with a sharp rebuke, ladies and gentlemen. A bench led by Justice Dipankar Datta issued notices to the Uttar Pradesh government and the petitioner Uday Shankar Srivastav while putting the lower court proceedings on hold for now. The bench has sought responses within 3 weeks. At the heart of this case, remember, was Rahul Gandhi's claim during his Bharat Jodo Yatra that Chinese troops had beaten up Indian soldiers in Galwan. These are the words of the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi. The Supreme Court took serious objection to these, saying, how did you arrive at the figure of 2,000 square kilometers occupied by China? Also asking what documents does he have to back this claim that he had made against the Indian army, as well as China allegedly occupying Indian land. Also, the top court has said a true Indian would not make such statements. As Justice Dipankar Datta, these are, the questions, the rebuke that the top court has made to Rahul Gandhi today. The court, in fact, asked why such comments were made in the first place on social media. In fact, the top court went on to ask bluntly, just because you have the right to free speech under Article 19(1)(a), does that mean you can say anything? Now, Rahul Gandhi's lawyer, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, defended Rahul, saying if the leader of opposition cannot raise these questions, who can? So while Rahul Gandhi gets a breather from these legal proceedings, remember, the Supreme Court has sent a clear message to him that free speech does not come without responsibility. My colleague Gaurav is joining us on the phone line with more on this. Gaurav, क्या कुछ details है? राहुल गांधी को एक तरफ लोअर कोर्ट की प्रोसीडिंग से थोड़ा रिलीफ मिला है, बट सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आज बहुत साफ शब्दों में राहुल को ये बताया है कि फ्री स्पीच है इस कंट्री में, बट नॉट विदाउट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, और उनसे ये भी पूछा कि उन्होंने किस बेसिस पे ये क्लेम किया कि चाइना ने 2000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर्स ऑफ इंडियन लैंड ऑक्यूपाई किया है।
देखिए, बिल्कुल राहुल गांधी के खिलाफ ये डिफेमेशन की पिटीशन जो है वो बीआरओ के फॉर्मर डायरेक्टर उदय शंकर श्रीवास्तव ने फाइल किया था, और इस मामले में इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट ने भी उनके खिलाफ टिप्पणी की थी। आज भी जब इस मामले में हियरिंग शुरू हुई तो जस्टिस दीपांकर दत्ता ने पूछा कि जो उन्होंने सोशल मीडिया या यात्रा के दौरान क्यों कहा, उन्होंने इस बात को पार्लियामेंट के सामने क्यों नहीं रखा, और उन्होंने सवाल उठाए कि उनकी जो लाइन थी कि एक ट्रू इंडियन होने के नाते, एक सच्चा भारतीय होने के नाते आप इस तरह से बातें नहीं कर सकते। हालांकि राहुल गांधी की तरफ से पेश हुए सीनियर एडवोकेट अभिषेक मनु सिंघवी ने कहा कि इस मामले में कुछ लीगल पॉइंट्स हैं और राहुल गांधी को इस तरह से मुकदमेबाजी के चलते जो है वो परेशान नहीं किया जा सकता है। लेकिन जाहिर तौर पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट की ये टिप्पणी जो है वो इस चर्चा का विषय है, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से उन्होंने इस मामले में बातें रखी और कोर्ट ने उनसे पूछा भी कि आखिर उनके पास इस तरह के क्या सबूत हैं जो आप इस तरह की बातें रख रहे हैं कि चीन ने कब्जा कर लिया, आपके सोर्स क्या है। तो ये बहुत सारे सवालों के जवाब थे, तो जाहिर तौर पर वहां पर याचिकाकर्ता के वकील यानी राहुल गांधी के वकील सामने नहीं रख पाए। लेकिन जब अभिषेक मनु सिंघवी ने इस मामले में कुछ लीगल पॉइंट्स उठाए तो उसके आधार पर फिलहाल राहुल गांधी को राहत मिली है और नेता विपक्ष राहुल गांधी को लखनऊ की स्पेशल एमपी-एमएलए कोर्ट में चल रही जो प्रोसीडिंग है उस पर रोक लगा दी है और फिलहाल 3 हफ्ते के अंदर जो है वो पिटिशनर उदय शंकर श्रीवास्तव जो कि बीआरओ के फॉर्मर डायरेक्टर हैं उनको इसमें रिप्लाई फाइल करना है। ये देखना होगा कि अब आगे इस मामले में 3 हफ्ते।
जी गौरव, धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। दैट्स माय कॉलीग गौरव गेटिंग अस मोर डिटेल्स। वी आर आल्सो जॉइंड बाय माय कॉलीग Dipankar on the phone line. He's been tracking the proceedings in the court. Dipankar, what more details do you have? A sharp rebuke coming in from Rahul Gandhi from the top court of the country.
Well, yes, the top court of the country has although stayed the defamation case that was going on against Rahul Gandhi, but had also said that whatever Rahul Gandhi would have wanted to say, he should have said it in the parliament. And why do he has to go over and make social media posts about it? The court also expressed disapproval to Rahul Gandhi's statement and said that how do you get to know that 2,000 square kilometers of Indian territory were occupied by Chinese? Were you there? Do you have any credible material? So these were sharp statements that were made by the court. However, the court has issued notice on the matter and has stayed the proceeding that is going on in the lower court and has issued notice on the matter on which the BRO, the Border Roads Organization Director Uday Shankar Srivastava will have to now file a reply to the top court and has listed the matter for further hearing. We'll have to wait and watch as to what the reply comes from the BRO, and we'll have to wait and watch as to what the court says in the further hearing and what arguments are further given by both the parties, that is the BRO as well as the counsel for Rahul Gandhi appearing before the court. Over to you.
Dipankar, thanks very much for joining us at the moment, getting us those details. Let's also listen into a reaction that's coming in from the Bharatiya Janata Party.
पहले इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट ने राहुल गांधी को फटकार लगाई थी जो बयान उन्होंने सेना को लेकर किया था कि हमारी सेना और सैनिकों की चाइना के द्वारा पिटाई हो रही थी। अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने राहुल गांधी को सरेआम लथाड़ा है, कहा है कि तुम्हें कैसे पता कि चाइना ने हमारी जमीन कब्जा ली है? अगर आप भारतीय होते तो ऐसी बात नहीं करते, बिना तथ्य बिना प्रमाण के। और अब भी देखिए ना, ये जो मानसिकता है, सड़क का गुंडा, सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक को खून की दलाली, बालाकोट एयर स्ट्राइक पर सवाल खड़े करना, ऑपरेशन सिंदूर को भी फेलियर, तमाशा, छुटपुट, सरेंडर, ये सब कहना, कारगिल युद्ध दिवस जो था, कारगिल विजय दिवस, उसको 5 वर्षों तक ना मनाना, सेना का करो अपमान, पाकिस्तान का करो गुणगान, यही बन चुकी है कांग्रेस की पहचान। कांग्रेस ने हमेशा सेना के मनोबल को तोड़ने के लिए प्रयास किया है। एलएसी पर कोई इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं बनाया, चाइना के साथ एमओयू साइन कर दिया। जब चाइना अक्साई चीन या जमीन कब्जाता था तब कांग्रेस पार्टी ने उस जमीन को लेने का एक भी प्रयास नहीं किया, उल्टा उस जमीन को छोड़ दिया। और आज सेना ने जब मुंहतोड़ जवाब दिया, चाहे डोकलाम में हो चाहे गलवान में हो, तो सवाल खड़े करते हैं। इसीलिए आज सेना के ऊपर, जो सनातन के ऊपर, जो संविधान के ऊपर लगातार हमला कर रहे राहुल गांधी, उसके लिए देश की जनता भी और कोर्ट भी उन्हें फटकार लगा रही है।
All right, so that is, of course, BJP's reaction coming in on what the Supreme Court has said to Rahul Gandhi today over his remarks about China and the Indian Army. My colleague Dipankar is with us to get us an understanding of what exactly transpired in the Supreme Court. Dipankar, you know, these are strong statements that have come in for Rahul Gandhi as far as his remarks is concerned, but the argument that was given by his lawyer, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, is that he's the leader of opposition, and if he cannot express and ask questions, who can? But the fact of the matter is that this was responded to by the top court, saying you might have free speech in this country under Article 19(1)A, but it comes with a responsibility. Free speech doesn't mean that you say just about anything, despite the fact that, you know, you are not substantiating your claims with any evidence.
Well, yes, the top court has clearly stated that the freedom of speech and expression that is provided to the people does not include the freedom to make statements which are defamatory to the Indian Army or which are allegedly defamatory to any person, or he cannot go on and say anything.
I'll come back to you right now. I'm joined by Udit Raj of the Congress Party. Udit Raj, your first response to what the Supreme Court has said. It has come down heavily on Rahul Gandhi, asking him for proof of what he said as far as China allegedly occupying Indian land is concerned.
Supreme Court is nobody to interfere. It's a political thing, and it has...
Are you saying the top court of the country doesn't have the right to question the leader of the opposition? Are you completely undermining the importance and the value of the top court of this country, Mr. Udit Raj?
Court is neither civil society. It's a court, and matters which are referred before Supreme Court has to give the judgment on those matters. This is a political matter, and certainly Supreme Court has exceeded its jurisdiction. And Rahul if he is not allowed to speak in Parliament either, and many times his mic is muted, and where should he speak? And moreover, Supreme Court is not running the country. It's not a political body.
You know, this is extremely shocking how you're talking about the Supreme Court of this country, Udit Rajji, because this is the same court that also speaks in favor of the opposition, and it is the same opposition that quotes the Supreme Court when it is convenient for them. But at the moment, the Supreme Court had a very clear question for Rahul Gandhi, and that was, how did you come to the basis of 2,000 square kilometers of Indian land being occupied by China? Rahul Gandhi's lawyer and his team did not have an answer to this. All right, as usual, Udit Raj, not being able to answer our questions, very clear, simple questions that we are asking him, and he chooses to cut the call. Let me also go across to BJP's RP Singh joining us on the phone line. RP Singh, your response to what the Supreme Court has said, and if you heard Udit Raj of the Congress Party, he said Supreme Court is nobody to lecture Rahul Gandhi.
Well, two things which is clear out of this is that they don't believe in any constitutional body. They think they are dynasty. They can do whatever they want to do. And as there were a highway, one. Secondly, that he is a habitual liar. Just recently, he lied about Arun Jaitley ji. He said that Arun Jaitley ji approached him for not to pursue the farm bills, although farm bills were introduced after 1 year after the death of Arun Jaitley ji. So earlier also he has spoken a lot of lies, and he has to apologize in the court also. He's a habitual liar, and he's a dynasty. He thinks he's a dynasty. He can do whatever he wants to do. Problem is that he has lost the plot, and he keeps building narratives around falsehood, fakery, now on SIR, on that I have an atom bomb. He keeps doing all this.
All right. Mr. RP Singh, thanks very much for joining us on Times Now and sharing your views. I'm also joined by former DGP Jammu and Kashmir Police, Mr. SP Vaid, on the phone line. Mr. Vaid, good morning. When politicians make such statements where they are questioning our forces, what is your view on that? The Supreme Court has clearly said that you've insulted the Indian Army and you have no proof of what you are saying.
See, we should have respect for the constitutional bodies like highest court of this country, Honorable Supreme Court. Already, I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who holds a very important position like leader of opposition, he had to apologize to the Supreme Court for his irresponsible statements. I don't think such statements should be made which actually bring bad name to your own armed forces. They are as much yours as governments. If you have evidence, why don't you put up, corner the government on the floor of the parliament? Why do you make social media statements insulting the forces? I think Supreme Court is absolutely right in pulling up Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Look at only few days back his statement about Mr. Arun Jaitley, which actually came out to be wrong. His son debunked him. What he was that the farm laws were brought after Mr. Arun Jaitley had passed away. So I think he should be very responsible in making statements. That's what country expects from a leader of opposition. Should not be like this. He is not he should not think that he's dynast and he rules the country. I think those days are gone. One has to earn respect of the people to be popular amongst the people who get elected as a prime minister. It's not anybody's right. I think I only wish that God gives him sense of responsibility, sense of justice. I think so that he makes statements which are responsible and people take those statements as true.
All right. Let's wait and watch how Rahul Gandhi responds to what the Supreme Court has asked of him and said to him. We'll keep getting you details, ladies and gentlemen, of what the top court has said to Rahul Gandhi. A sharp rebuke coming in for the leader of opposition for his remarks against the Indian army. At the moment, it's time for a short break.